Guys, my name is Amy and I am a personal development alchemist. I am here to guide you through your personal transformation, your change, your growth, expansion from where you used to be to where you're meant to be. So, today we're going to talk about what is the purpose? Like, what is the main overall reason for growth? Because I have a lot of clients who have been on this growth journey path as well as myself, and for a long time, like years, right? And it never stops. And one of my clients actually asked me, what is the reason behind this? Like, why am I doing all this work? Because it never stops. So what am I doing? Why am I doing all this if it's never going to stop? There's no, light at the end of the tunnel. Why? And the reason why is because, so what we're currently doing in the healing process is, like, imagine your closet. You know when it gets super full and you can't even move the hangers because there's like so much stuff and you're just like cramming stuff in, like really using muscle to try and like put stuff in there, right? So what we're doing is we're cleaning out the closet. So all the things that are no longer for us, they're not really who we are. Maybe we learned them from our parents or school or society, right? Like adhering to the status quo, or you need to look this way and dress this way and behave this way. You're unconditioning. And to let go of the conditioning, we must heal. In order to heal, we need to be able to accept ourselves. So that's what this whole process is we're cleaning out the space that isn't really truly us. And that's what the healing process is it's surrendering that conditioning and letting go of those false beliefs that we have been keeping in our subconscious mind that keep us in these loops, these cycles of a certain type of behavior pattern, right? So as we choose to clean out our internal closet, right? And it's basically just cleaning out the subconscious mind. And when we do that, so every time we let go of something, our physical body starts to regenerate in the way that it's meant to be. So a lot of times when we release emotions, when the body is able to physically release emotions that have been pent up for decades, however long, an entire lifetime, 40 years for my example, right? What happens is the body has to then have time to change and transform itself really like at the DNA level, because when you let go of a certain emotion, you're letting go of that frequency within the cells of your body. And that's why our bodies change when we heal our emotional body. So this whole time, remember, you're still cleaning out the closet, one item at a single time. And if you have 500 items in your closet and it's so crammed that nothing can even move, there's no flowing there, it's just rigid and stuck in there, imagine how that feels to your body. Imagine your body, the feeling of being like stuffed full and not being able to like flow, because that's what your body wants to do. It wants to flow with the energies that you're interacting with and that you're creating through your own emotional being. Now, the point of this is to make space. The space is your future highest potential. This space, a lot of times what happens is that we fill the space with things because we're like, look at, there's so much space. I can put lots of things in here. But the things are not what we need. We've been conditioned by society through a capitalist perspective to want things to fill our lives and ourselves with, but they actually turn out to be very toxic to us because we're supposed to have space. We're supposed to have an emptiness that we can sit and relax into, that we can basically use our intuition and channel the divine communications that we receive, and we do that through our body. But if our body is so full, think back to your closet, full of items, and let's say you have 500 items, but it should really only have 200 items. Those 300 items are not your true self. Those 300 items are conditions, thought patterns that you have somehow trained yourself into believing for whatever reason. We normally do it out of safety and conformity. We don't want to be different. We don't want to rock the boat. We want to people please. And this is especially true if you're a feminine. We are taught to people please. Anyone in society, in any society, anywhere on this planet, is taught conformity. So you are not alone. This is not something like negative that happens. It's a human thing. Even animals conform. We have dogs living in our houses, for God's sakes, that wear sweaters and shit, right? So this is not like you're not bad for conforming. It's just a natural thing that happens. It's conditioning. And the good news about knowing this is all, those 300 items in your closet, when you get rid of them, you can actually learn, and I can help you, how to reprogram that conditioning into something that is self-serving rather than self-sabotaging. And when we do that, that's when the real magic happens. That's when we can really create the life that we know we're destined for. But first, the whole purpose of healing, the whole purpose of letting go, of surrender, of connecting with your higher self, meditation, yoga, breath work, all these spiritual type things, no matter what the practice is, or whether you just want to get balance in your day-to-day life. You need to let go of what is no longer you because it's taking up space for the vital parts of your potential future and of who you were designed to be. Now, when you step into that wholeness and you accept the space, when you can say, I like the space, I feel good, I feel safe in the emptiness. That's the key right there. We fill that space so we can feel safe. Just like if you think about a hoarder. When you look at their house, you're like, what the fuck is this? But in actuality, it's there. So when we look at our outside environment, it is a direct reflection of the mind. When we look at our physical body, it is a direct reflection of the emotional body. So if your emotions are out of whack, your body is going to be out of whack. If your mind is out of balance, your environment will be out of balance. It's really, when you look at people, you see them, how they present themselves to the world and how they live their life, like in their home or in their, like, what is their process, right? Even their work desk or work environment, their car, any of these things. If it's kept clear in their space, this person is comfortable with themselves. If it's like overly cluttered, it's overly filled up, this person does not feel safe. So they surround themselves with things because they're still on that mindset, that perspective that things keep them safe, that these are helping them to create boundaries that they could never internally create for themselves. So you can really kind of judge how people are doing in their wellness just based on how they're living their life, like without even knowing them. And that may seem judgmental, but it's for your benefit. Now, when we judge someone, when we're looking in that perspective of like, this feels like a lot, it's because that feeling of what they have going on, that chaos that they're expressing outwardly, is overwhelming for us because we're more at peace, right, within ourselves, because we've cleaned out the closet. We've been working on ourselves and we're moving forward, and we know what healthy is versus attachment. So what do you do with the space? You leave it. The space is meant to be empty because this is how you channel in the divine connection. This is how you understand the future. This is how you create potential and opportunities in your life for abundance, prosperity, joy, happiness, whatever it is that you want. So when the space is filled, there's fear because it's like, I don't know if I can handle much more. But when the space is empty and things just flow through in life, it's kind of really easy to just be like, it's okay. I just let it flow through because you have the space and capacity within yourself, and to hold that space for other people in that you connect with, whether it's at work, your community, your children, your significant other, whatever it may be. This is how you kind of allow yourself to bend and sway with the tide, right? The ebb and the flow. And this allows your emotions to be free, so you don't have to hold them. Like, your emotions don't get compartmentalized and stuck into a certain area of your body. You're releasing. If you don't have the space, you can't release because there's too much crammed in. Nothing, it's like Tetris. Nothing can get out, right? So creating that space is the number one foundational aspect of having the greatest life of your capacity. When you step into that space, you're not really going to want to fill it up anymore because it makes you feel at peace. It makes you feel good to have the space, like, I can really breathe now, right? There's space in my body for me to breathe. There's space in my body for change. There's space in my external world now for change. And also, when we have no space, we are unable to receive. And that means if you want abundance, whether it's money, family, a new job, some material items that like would help your life, you need to let go of things to create the space for receiving the new abundance that you're desiring. You can't just keep cramming shit in because it's not going to be beneficial to you once you get those things. And the universe isn't going to want to give you something if you're just hoarding. You need to be in that flowing motion. Just like, think about water. It flows. It's going forward and backwards. It's the ebb and the flow. And that's what our emotions do. And that's how we function as human beings. That's how we're able to manifest things. That's how we have spiritual enhancement. That's how we connect to the people in our environment, the jobs that we have, the type of material possessions we have, the amount of them, the quality of them, the quality and the value of the people that you bring into or release from your life. It's all related to the internal space. So I do want to mention also, a lot of times the people who fill that internal space, because I was one of those people, they can become addicts, or they can have an imbalance in their perception of reality because they have an imbalance of their perception of themselves. So what I would do as an addict is fill that space with as much stuff as I could because I didn't want to sit with myself. I didn't want to sit with that highest potential in that space and realize that it was up to me to create this high potential, that no one was coming to save me. There is no knight on a white horse, right? Like, I have to save myself. And when I was younger, that was a very difficult thing for me to deal with because of my childhood and the conditioning, right? So I had to, in order to leave, and I don't really honestly think that addiction is anything to do with a substance or an item or an action. You know, it's more to deal with, do you accept yourself for who you are, and can you take accountability of your life? You are responsible for your life, and creating that space gives you the opportunity to take the action steps necessary in order to make the big life. So if you honestly don't believe that you have the potential or the capability, of creating and living in a big way for your highest potential, then you're going to shut the space down. You're going to keep it closed because it doesn't feel safe. It is only when that you feel safe internally that you can open that space up. So the healing process of letting things go is about learning how to be safe within yourself. Be safe in your actions, in your boundaries, in your thoughts, in your action steps toward others, in your receiving from others. Do you keep yourself safe from the things that others want to give you? Because just because someone wants to give you something to fill that space does not mean that your closet needs an extra item. Just because someone wants to tell you they love you, just because someone wants to gift you a thing, just because someone wants to help you with your resume or to get that new job, whatever it may be, maybe you're not ready for the capacity to hold that thing. Maybe you can't receive it yet. And that's totally okay. You're working on becoming who you're meant to be. Having boundaries is what allows the space to stay open. That is what creates the safety within us, is those boundaries. And without those boundaries, our closet is just going to fill back up again. So no matter how much healing you do, if you don't have boundaries of safety within yourself and what feels safe to you, then you're just going to get like a hoarder, right? You work with them to clean the area, to organize, to declutter, whatever it may be. And then 2 weeks later, everything looks the same. And you're like, what the hell just happened? We did all that work, but they didn't feel safe. So there's no point in doing all the work if you don't feel that safety, right? There's no point in the universe giving you the love of your life when you have unbalanced relationship attachment, right? You have to be working in order to create the spaces for the things that you desire for your future self here and now. I hope this helps, and I really hope that you take away the fact that the point of the healing, there is a point, there is a process, there's a reason for the chaos, and there's a reason for the madness and the sorrow, the suffering, because it hurts to heal. It hurts to step into your power. It hurts. It hurts so bad because you're leaving your safety. The safety net is gone and you're walking on the tightrope, praying to Jesus that things will just work out. But I promise you they will, because as you're making the space, you're creating the safety for yourself. You're not relying upon others to make safety for you. You are the safety for you. So you can let go of that old way of being and allow your body to heal. If you'd like to work with me, I do offer retreats focused on wellness and healing. And I do also offer one-on-one personal growth sessions. I offer business. If you are self-employed, I do offer business based in social media marketing strategies, evaluations, that type of thing. And I will soon be offering courses that you can do at your own pace digitally, and they'll come with a workbook and a guidebook, and I'm super excited for that. That will be coming soon. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and let us heal.